For the Mandarin Pearl, the first component I made was the almond sponge, where I combined eggs, butter, almond meal, flour and cornstarch, and I spread it thinly on a baking sheet and baked for around 12 minutes before cutting 4cm diameter circles. For the chestnut cream, I combined some milk, chestnut puree, sweetened chestnut paste, and I folded in some whipped cream until it made a smooth mixture. I piped the chestnut cream into some 4cm hemisphere molds and added a circle of almond sponge on top of each one. Next, I made an orange confit by boiling down some mandarins, oranges with some water and sugar and blending it up. And I used this in my Mandarin coulis, which incorporated mandarin and mango puree. To create my insert, I unmolded the frozen chestnut hemispheres and placed it on top of the Mandarin coulis. And yes, I did overfill my molds, so if you try this out, please don't fill them up to the top like I did. Next, I made a crispy base using gluten-free shortbread, some cocoa powder, melted dark chocolate and fouettine, and I spread it to around 3mm thickness, but it honestly melted quite quickly, so I'll probably do double that thickness next time. And after it's set in the fridge, I cut out 5cm diameter circles. And here I'm whipping up some vanilla ganache to use as the encaser of my spherical molds, and I'm using a spatula to spread it all around the outside of the mold. Next, I added a frozen mandarin chestnut insert into each of the molds before topping up with more whipped vanilla ganache and finishing off with a crispy base. After the mousses were completely frozen, I took them out of their molds, and here they are looking so pretty, but here's an example of a poorly constructed one because I didn't spread the ganache evenly enough within the inside. With my extra batter, I also made these stone shapes, which ended up being super cute as well. For the Magic Lantern Entremet, the first component I made was the red velvet sponge, which was basically a vanilla and chocolate flavored cake with red food coloring. I ended up baking it for around 11 minutes, and after it was cooled, I cut out 12cm diameter circles. Next was the raspberry coulis, and oh my god. Okay. After that mess, I made some lemon cream, which was basically lemon curd emulsified with room temperature butter. Next, it was finally time to assemble my insert for the entremet, so I started off with a layer of red velvet sponge. Next, I put on some raspberry coulis, and then another layer of the red velvet sponge, and some lemon cream, and I actually finished it off with Mandarin coulis, which I didn't film. For the crispy sea salt base, I combined more gluten-free shortbread with white chocolate, cocoa butter, fouetine and some salt, which I rolled out to, again, 3 millimeters thickness, but it actually melted too fast, so definitely do double. And here I cut out 12 centimeter circles to match the diameter of my insert. For the spicy vanilla chocolate mousse, I made a creme anglaise flavored with vanilla, cinnamon and nutmeg, which I poured over white chocolate and folded in orange zest and some whipped heavy cream. So usually for entremets you construct them upside down, but like I said, I was having trouble with the consistency of my crispy base, so I decided to construct it the right side up. So at the bottom I have the crispy sea salt and I placed one of my frozen inserts on top. Next, I poured over my spicy vanilla chocolate mousse and let it set in the freezer overnight. For the Mandarin Pearl, I made 2 glazes. The first one was made from mandarin puree and pectin, which I set in the fridge and then reheated. And the second one was a clear glaze made from this Sosa vegetal gelatin product. I was so excited to start glazing because this is Chef Gregory's signature technique. So I began with dipping the balls into the mandarin glaze and freezing them before dipping them into the vegetal glaze, which is really shiny and makes the pearls non-sticky to the touch. I finished each pearl with a basil leaf and I was so proud of these. They were super yummy. The mandarin was really bright while the chestnut was nice and rich. Now for the magic lantern entremet, I made a red mirror glaze using condensed milk, chocolate, gelatin and red food coloring. Next, I used a blowtorch to help me unmold the ring from my frozen entremet. I like using a flat spatula to remove the excess glaze and 2 offset spatulas to help me transfer to either my cake board or my plate. I decorated with a Mandarin Pearl and some cute chocolate Chinese New Year decorations. I really loved the flavor of this cake. I loved the warmth of the spicy vanilla mousse and the acidic elements like the mandarin and lemon, and the red velvet sponge was super light and delicious.